This is eiderdown. And as you can see, it is only down. There are no feathers in this. My name is Ragna, and I am the founder and CEO of Icelandic Down. The Icelandic Down, my whole family owns Icelandic Down. We are all shareholders. And I work closest with my daughter, Ástrós. She works with me full-time and has been with me the whole time. When we started, Ástrós and me worked side by side, and we did everything together. We had to figure out how to make douys and pillows, and what material to choose, and how we wanted the website to look, which messages we wanted to send out to people, and how we wanted to construct all of it. We did rent a small house for the company, the facilities. We hand cleaned the eiderdown, we made the douys, we packed them and shipped and communicated. It was also our office. When we started, we only made a few products the first year, very few, 4 I think. So now we are shipping hundreds of products. We ship all over the world. We've shipped to more than 40 countries, and I've shipped to every continent except Antarctica. Probably will never ship to them. The idea we started with was we sell through the internet, through our own website. We have no middlemen anywhere, and this concept has worked for us. So we are always ourselves in direct communication with the customer. The perks of having a company here is everyone is ready to do everything to help us grow. There's a lot of interest from the people living here in what we are doing, and we can really feel the good spirit from people. They really want us to succeed. The first thing you notice is the color. This is the color of the eider duck, the female bird. The male bird is black and white. And all this eiderdown comes from the breast of the duck. And when she starts nesting, because she's so well insulated, because she lives at sea, she needs to get rid of this insulation so that she can keep the eggs warm, using her body heat to keep them warm. So when she starts nesting, there is some hormonal change. The eiderdown on her belly gets loose, and she uses her nose to rake it off so that she can keep the eggs warm. The eider duck lays the eggs for around 24 days, 3 to 4 weeks, and while she is nesting, she only goes away from the nest to drink. She doesn't eat the whole time. She loses around 40% of her body weight, and she needs to get rid of the eiderdown to keep the eggs warm. And what you can also see about the down is that it sticks together. I can throw it around like I'm throwing a ball. And that's something which you don't see very often with down. When we make jackets, caps, or whatever we use down for, and other kinds of goose down douys, then the bird has maybe lived for only 10 weeks. And it has lived in-house. It has not lived in the harsh nature. So the insulation of those birds is quite different from eider ducks. And the bird is like goose down. Goose is raised and slaughtered for the meat, and the down is a byproduct from that. Every year, the amount of down that the duck rakes into her nest is around 15 to 17 grams. Because this is so light, this is like 15 to 17 grams. Most people compare it to sleeping under a cloud. You can't feel the weight of it. And most of my customers, this is the first thing they notice. Eiderdown has this ability that it adapts to the temperature around you. If it's cold around you, then the eiderdown draws air into it and it gets bigger. Now I have this ball. If it would be freezing, then this ball would get bigger. Because of all this intertwined thread in the eiderdown, it can draw air into it. And when it gets bigger, it insulates better. And if it's warm around it, air leaves from it and it shrinks. Then it doesn't keep you as warm. So it has this temperature regulating effect, which is amazing. I want to tell you a story about Ole and Jóhanna the eider. Their sanctuary is in a deserted fjord here in East Iceland. Their season starts beginning of May, late April. They sail to Loðmundarfjörður, and they have to sail because the roads are still closed by snow from the winter. So they come there in the beginning of May, And the first 2 or 3 weeks of their staying there, they are preparing the sanctuary for the birds. They are putting out their houses and they raise a lot of flags. There are a lot of small flags. The flags tell the birds that here is their sanctuary, and they also tell the seagulls to keep away. And they mend fences. There is fence around. They use a net. They put a net on the fence to keep the minks away. These first 2 or 3 weeks, they are only preparing for the birds. The birds uses the same nest every year. They put dry hay into their nests, and the hay keeps them from lying on the wet ground to nest. While this process is going on and the bird is deciding to come and start nesting, the farmers, everyone keeps away. There's no human inside the eider sanctuary because the farmer doesn't want to do anything to scare the bird away. But when the birds have really settled down in the sanctuary, they are not afraid of the farmers. The only thing the farmers and the people there take care of, they walk very slowly through the sanctuary. You don't run there. No surprises. The bird, he can be 10 centimeters away from you and he just lies still on his eggs or her eggs. And the bird lays the eggs for between 3 and 4 weeks, 20 through 24 days. And by the end of this period, the farmer starts collecting the eiderdown. When the eggs hatch, can be from 3 eggs in a nest or up to 11. If the eggs are 11, then it will probably be 3 birds nesting in the same nest. The other 2 that are not laying their eggs, they were too thin to spend 4 weeks eating nothing, so they laid their eggs in another nest. And that bird that lays them, she was fat enough to survive eating nothing for all this time. When the duckling starts to arrive, it can take a few hours for all the eggs to break. The eider duck takes, as soon as the last duckling has come to life, she starts walking with them back to sea. So they go to sea when they're only a few hours old. And when you see this happening, then often the oldest ducklings, maybe they have been living for a few hours, and the youngest has maybe only been living for half an hour or something. And when you see them walking to sea, you often see this youngest, he's a little bit behind. He's really trying to take the walk to sea, but he's not as up to it as the older ones. And sometimes they are left behind. What the farmer does when this happens, he takes this small duckling and puts him in a nest, and the duck there, she takes this duckling as her own. So that's also the amazing thing about the eider ducks. It's a community. It's not, these are my ducklings and these are yours, they are us. There's always this cooperation also between the birds, not only between the farmer and the birds, but also between the birds. If the bird is still lying on the eggs, he just removes the eggs carefully, takes the eider down, puts dry hay instead of it, and puts the eggs gently back on. It doesn't disrupt anything. Eider duck farmers will never do anything to harm the birds or harm the eggs. So everything they do is to take care of the bird as best as they can. When the farmer has collected the down from the nests, first thing he does, he dries it. If the sun is shining and the weather is really nice, then the down is dried outside in the sun. Often it's dried on racks inside some shelters the farmer has. Then it's sent to cleaning companies, and the first thing is that the down is heated in an oven. Temperature is around 120 degrees, and it's heated at that temperature for up to 48 hours. What also happens during this time in the oven, because there's a lot of grass in the eiderdown, the grass turns to dust, so it just falls down. After this oven cleaning, the eiderdown is cleaned in machines, and then most of the feathers and egg skulls and everything that can be in the nest is removed. And after that, the eiderdown is washed and dried again. And the final cleaning, the quality cleaning, is that the eiderdown is cleaned by hand. And it can take, to go through 1 kilo of eiderdown by hand, can take from 8 hours up to 3 to 4 days, where you go through only 1 kilo of eiderdown by hand to remove the last feathers. What sets our products apart from other brands is first and foremost the eiderdown itself. The eiderdown is unique. It's just something else than other kinds of downs and other kinds of fill materials. So I have the privilege of choosing the best eider down I can find. We go through the final cleaning and the quality checking of the eider down happens here. We go through it ourselves to make sure that the eider down is up to our standards. When we were sourcing for how we should manufacture our duvets and pillows, then we knew one thing. We knew that we are using the best fill material in the world, which is Icelandic eider down. And when we are using the best fill material, when we are honoring the eider down, we have to do everything else as well. We search for the best design of making a duvet and also the best material to use for the covers, or as we call it shells. And what we looked after was a high quality cotton or silk. We use both, and it has to be light because the eider down is next to weightless. You can't make it heavy with using a heavy cotton. It has to be light and it has to be thin. And we found that superior quality to use for ourselves. Everything we make is made to order. I can custom make every product for my customers. And we also make the products ourselves. We hand make them here. I'm in direct contact both with the farmer and the end customer. Because this is such a strong part of Icelandic tradition to collect eider down, and it's imprinted in our culture that this how we protect the bird. The eider duck has had total protection in Iceland since the year 1847. Then, by Icelandic law, it's completely forbidden to hurt or kill the bird in any way. And as far as I know, we are the only country in the world that has this strict regulations about eider ducks. Last time I looked at numbers regarding how eider ducks survive in the world, Iceland is the only country where the population of eider ducks is rising, not falling. And we can thank eider farmers for that, how good care they take of the birds. Nearly all eider down in the world comes from Iceland. Total production in the world per year is only 4,000 kilos. And at least 3,000 of them come from Iceland. But even though you could say that eider down is Icelandic because of this, because we have the majority of the production worldwide. We more or less sold all eider down as a raw material out of the country. And we exported it mostly to Germany and Japan, and they made duvets and pillows. And when I learned this, it made me quite sad, because I thought we should move the final production to Iceland. We should finish this ourselves. And that's the reason for why I started this company. It's often said that an eider down duvet lasts a lifetime. Of course, that depends on how you treat your duvet. So I would say for decades. I'm not going to promise that it will live for 100 years. But I got an email last year from a person that told me that she had an eider down duvet that she had inherited from her grandmother or grand-grandmother. I am sure that this duvet has not been used for 120 years. A part of this time, it has been kept in storage. The best thing about selling directly like we do is I have kind of pen pals all over the world. Before they make the purchase, they have gotten to know them a little bit. And after they receive their duvet, it's amazing how often they send me an email to thank me for their wonderful product. Yesterday, I got an email from a guy who bought from me a few years back, and he started the email by saying, "Hi, Ragna, I have been the proud owner of one of your eider down duvets for a few years." Nearly all my customers are really happy with their products. And what makes them happy is customer service stands out, and the sustainability of our products is high in their minds. And of course, the sleep, how they sleep with their products. We have received a lot of reviews through these 6 years, and I have to tell you about one review I received a few years back. And when I started reading it, I thought, okay, now I will get a negative review. So someday it will come, and this is the day. Because it started with, "I have only one problem with my duvet." It's so difficult to stand up in the morning. I want to sleep for a longer time. We are awake and sleep always thinking about quality from the start when we receive the eiderdown and until the time we ship, and even longer than that. We want to keep good relations with our customers for years to come. The bedding itself hopefully reflects quality and good care when the customer receives it. Each duvet is made with love and caring. I hope all our material, our website and all our social media products, what you can read about us and our stories, can leave warm and soft feelings with our customers. Learning about the bird itself and how the farmer takes care of it, and the caring in how we manufacture our products. I hope that will really sit well with people and make the world look a little brighter from their side.